Just throw it. Just throw it.
Oh, you want to look for it?
Yeah. Just a comment on the deck that's in Alexander's Keep. I don't think they have a homeowners association yet, so you probably won't see an approval letter from them. I don't think there's one yet. They're still under the declarant, I believe.
No, the bond hasn't been released yet, so you're correct.
You're still under the declarant.
I'm sorry.
Okay, never mind.
Whatever you say.
But there is an approval letter because they have to approve it still through the HOA and then DR Horton, the builder.
It's right. That's the declarant acts as your homeowners association, the builder.
Oh, okay.
Acts as your homeowners association until typically it's X number of move-ins or other conditions. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's filled out, but they're having major grading issues. So,
yeah.
The bond hasn't been released yet.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, I know it's not on the agenda, but I just want to say something about that because we've been living there for 2 years and our backyard is still a swamp. I've been working with Brian Henshaw, but nothing is getting done. And it is, I mean, the most frustrating thing that I've ever been through in my life.
Okay, now hold on. If you say that during citizens' time, then it goes on the record, which would be more beneficial. Right now, when the meeting starts, we always have citizens' time. Anybody from the public can speak. If you speak during citizens' time, it goes into the minutes and becomes part of the public record. So it's more likely to be heard by somebody other than us. We're the Architectural Review Board. We don't really have any power to do your...
And I just
Right.
pointed to you.
Don't point the finger at me.
Yeah, there you go. I took the code book. You take the complaint.
Take that to
But
council and task the,
I know some of the people down there, so
people to get on it.
I'm more than well aware of
Good.
some of your issues.
Good.
But I would recommend, and Ken, our chairman,
Yes.
we'll point another finger here. We'll ask for citizens' time. Get up and speak during citizens' time is more effective. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not trying to limit your comments.
Yeah. It might be something better to wait till next meeting because I know they're going through a little bit of a process right now.
Just poke. Just
Okay.
poke.
Good. I'll do
Poke
it.
the bear. Poke the bear. Twist the knife. I mean, if you're going to do it, let's do it right. Let's just twist that knife.
well, we're after 7, so let's get going
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Yarborough,
Yes, here.
Larson,
Here.
Harness,
Here.
Ring,
Here.
Harm.
Yeah. Okay, looks like we got a full house. Now we'll move to citizens' time. Anybody out there want to make a comment?
Yeah. Come on up to the microphone.
Give the mic, Seth.
All right. Yeah, so I live in Alexander's Keep. Been having major issues. There's a field at the end of the road there, which is common area, and I think that's actually Prince William County. But they've dug a ditch that all the water from the opposite side of the street from the houses collects into this ditch and it just flows out to the middle of this field. It doesn't go anywhere. It's a muddy mess. And then we have negative grades. I'm a surveyor. I surveyed the land myself, actually. We have negative grades, so water's coming back into our foundations. And the rains, we can't walk through. We can't even use the backyard or my neighbor who's at end units, his side yard, for 4 to 5 days of sunshine. It just sits there, pools, doesn't go anywhere. We've been working for 2 years to get it straightened out, and they came out to try and fix it, but all they did was rip up the sod, did no grading, and put sod right back down. And now I watched it right up my back window. So, been working with Brian Henshaw. He's been in contact with them. DR Horton is planning to send some surveyors out, but he told me over probably 5 weeks ago, that he had already contacted the surveyor. No one's been out to survey the property. So I'm trying to figure out what the timeline is going to be with them. Because if it takes this long to get a surveyor out, how long is it going to get somebody to come out and do the grading on the houses? They have to do it in the summer. They already told us they couldn't do it in the winter, which we've already been through 2 winters almost. So, I just want to bring it to your attention. I don't know what you can do to help, but anything you can do to help us out, maybe contact them, maybe you, David, I'm not sure. But nothing's getting done. It's just exchanging emails. So.
I would also suggest coming to the council meeting June 2nd at 7.
Same,
raising that
exact
issue
same,
as well.
raised it up at Citizens Time there as well. I will also be bringing it to that
Okay.
council meeting,
Okay.
okay?
I'm sure some other residents would want to.
Yes, please,
We'll
many
get
as you
into it.
can.
And there's some other issues with just I have a set of the original plans. It obviously wasn't built to those original plans. There was field revisions that were done by the surveying company. I don't know how your inspectors approved it for these houses that start being sold. There's just no way possible. I've been surveying for 10 years. Like I've never seen anything like it in my life. So it's really frustrating, and it's on your end and it's on DR Board's end too, because it should have never been approved. They should have never built it that way. So.
Right, and just as a clarification, I think what you're talking about, not only is that piece of land in Prince William County, the town ends there, and I think even with the new,
The houses are in Haymarket.
the houses are in Haymarket. Also, that field is leased, rented, granted access. It doesn't belong to the community, I don't believe, even though it was claimed to be a tot lot.
On the underground pond.
Right.
They can't do a tot lot on top of the underground.
Right, they can't. You guys were originally promised a tot lot. It's like,
Correct.
no. So yeah, it's a little weird piece of land that's down there. But as long as you're aware of that, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm totally aware. It's just they have an incredible volume of water that just dumps onto a field.
Oh, yeah,
No
yeah,
grass. It's just mud.
Yeah,
I mean, if you walk in it after a good rainstorm, you're going down to your knees.
I did that.
Yeah. Yeah. My dog's done that a couple times.
I'm bigger than your daughter is. I probably sank deeper.
But also, I was talking to Brian Henshaw and some of the other residents, and we want to set up some kind of meeting here, maybe during the week, with someone from Sequoia Management to be here, someone from DR Hortons to be here, and someone from the towns to be here, and just discuss, and maybe just prying at them, and just keep bringing it to their attention. Maybe it'll get them to go faster.
Okay.
So.
Well, like I said, we'll have Kat raise that up to the council, and if you want to bring it to citizens' time at the council meeting, that will help enforce it even more.
Okay, and what was
And
that,
then-
June?
June 2nd, 7 p.m. First Monday of the month.
Okay, I'm sure some other residents would like to speak, so I'll definitely
Spread the word.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they actually did 2 years ago, I believe, speak in mass in front of the council. But anyway,
All right, that's all I'd say. Just want to bring that to your attention.
Thank you. What was your name again, sir?
Zachary Hart. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else out there want to comment? Okay, we'll move on to minute approval.
Make a motion to approve the minutes for the regular meeting April 16, 2014 at 7 p.m. with the corrections discussed earlier.
I'll second.
Okay, I got a motion and a second. The corrections discussed earlier were page 2, very bottom line, Harness saying the ARB vote on the permit is food for 1 year. It should be good to change that. Any more discussion? Okay, I got a move and second. Vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, minutes are approved. Okay. Minutes are approved. Yeah, you missed a good meeting. Chick-fil-A got approved.
I was not a happy camper.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll move on to the certificate of appropriateness.
Make a motion to approve zoning permit ZP 201405001, build of an open deck at 14990 Gossip Manor Place.
I got a motion. Any seconds? And a second. Okay, we're up for discussion. Anybody have any questions on this? Yes. Very nice.
We're looking forward to it.
Okay, sorry guys, that was me. Last chance for any type of comments, discussions? Or... Okay, well, that was a nice quick one then. We'll put this up for motion for approval. All in favor? What's that?
We need a vote, not a
Right.
motion.
Oh, well, that's what I meant. Sorry. Thank you for correcting my slack English. Okay, we'll put this up for vote for approval then. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any nays? Abstains? Okay, so this COA is good to go.
She shows up for the easy ones. All the hard ones, people don't show up for.
I didn't want any problems.
Yeah. Well, thank you for showing up. See, when there are problems and the person's not here, it's like,
And they waited on one.
exactly.
And you're done, Ken is signing your paperwork now.
Okay, do I need to take it from you, or does it go to the company? Or I just don't know how the paperwork, where the paperwork goes.
Denise?
It'll go to the office and
They'll send it to
it'll
someone.
correct. Yes. And notify the
Okay, great, thanks.
And what is today? The
21st.
21st. Okay. Okay, now we'll move on. We don't have anybody here from Costello Way, right? We just, you're here for the Alexander's
It's
Keep
for the
one?
day.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's move on to Alexander's Keep. We'll move that up front to get that out of the way so no one's waiting.
I'll make a motion to approve zoning permit 201400520, building a deck at 14721 Alexander's Keep.
Second.
Okay, is that? A motion and a
Or
second.
C.
Packet page 21.
Okay, there you go.
For the HOA signature. Same thing as the previous one. There we go. That's all I needed. Do we have any discussions? Everyone's still looking it over?
I have no questions. Another one that's beautiful.
I have two.
Waiting on John.
There's something different.
What's the difference between
I'm not sure.
page 33 and page 34?
I don't know, this is the lot that we're talking about now.
Lot 11.
Yeah, I'm not sure why.
Oh, it's because when they give you survey, it's an extended sheet, so I just kind of made sure to top the survey and bottom.
Okay.
I didn't have that big sheet paper for it.
So there's no steps on this?
On the deck, no.
No, these are really high out.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of steps getting down to the ground.
Yeah, it'd probably take up most of your backyard.
Yeah. For a really tight spiral.
You good? Okay.
Yeah, it's a nice deck.
Last chance for discussion. Okay, we'll put this up for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Okay, looks like it went through okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, so I can leave now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
See you in a couple weeks.
Okay, now I guess we can move on to COA for Costello Way.
I'm going to make a motion so we can open up for discussion. Motion to approve zoning permit ZT 2014043 for the temporary banner at 4426 Costello Way.
Second.
Okay, I got a motion and second. It's open for discussion.
Temporary sign under 58-339 is defined as a sign or advertising display designed or intended to be displayed for a specified period of time.
I am not seeing a specified period of time.
Looking for it.
Well, when I was reading this the other day, I think it looked like the specified time would be approximately 6 months when they have a chance to get the real sign approved and get that mounted.
6 months?
But yeah, let's look through this again.
Is it gonna take that
Maybe
long?
it was 6 weeks.
I would think 6 months that's a long time.
Yeah, that's a long time.
I know government moves at the speed of smell, but it's not that bad.
But other than that, I don't know if anybody has any questions about the sign itself. If it was permanent, I'd be questioning the font definitely doesn't follow guidelines. For a temporary sign, I'm
For the email,
not as picky.
That's attached to this, Denise. It looks like on package page 18, it looks like this email continued. It said to respond to the questions, see comments in line.
This is all that I received.
Something behind that.
And that may have answered that. I'm okay with approving it for a time limit of 6 weeks.
Okay, so to change your motion?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little thrown off. The name of the company is Optum? Is that?
That's kind of
It
looks
so
like that.
seems
I
like
was a little thrown off because, obviously the applicant is from KRT Architectural Signage. So that's, obviously the sign company is asking for the certificate of appropriateness. That's kind of odd. And the permit holder,
right there.
permit holder is RK.
Yeah.
They had the code right on it
Yeah.
from the zoning. So I guess Marchand's been keeping up with his work, huh? Yeah, there's no indication here how long it would be. We do want to, we can put a time frame on it, but to tell you the truth, I would just like to leave it as a policed item by Marchand, since Marchand kind of manages this. Yeah, so we could say per period agreed upon the applicant and Marchand. That way, we're not giving them more time than what Marchand would prefer it to be out.
Okay, so here's the specific section that Marchand mentions. The other one was just a definition of no more than 30 days in a calendar year.
Okay.
So
I will
that
amend
code
my
covers
motion
it.
to
Okay.
approve that for 30 days as per code.
Okay. So we got an amendment. You want to second
Second.
that amendment? Yeah. Okay.
4 weeks.
Any discussions? John, comments?
No, and then you were saying the font, you don't believe follows our, we don't have a font of that nature in our guidelines?
Well, I don't truly know what the font is, but just looking at it as blocked as it is and stuff like that, it would fall into our font, since we seem to like all the curved stuff.
Right. Yeah, but I was thinking it might fit into it, actually. It's temporary sign. I guess when they come back for the
Yeah.
permanent, it'll probably look a lot like this, so we should probably look.
Well, that's why I said for this, I'm non-partial to it, but for the permanent, I'd be a little bit more scrutinizing to make sure it falls within our guidelines.
When we hear they're coming back in 30 days, when they're coming back for their permanent sign, we should go look at our block of fonts. See if it works.
Okie dokie.
Okay, so I think we got discussions done here. Last call. Okay, let's open it up for vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstained? Okay, so we'll consider this approved per no longer than 30 days per section 58-342, paragraph 1. Is that what that prongs are, paragraph 1?
Yeah.
Of the code book. Okay, now that we're done with that, sorry to keep you guys waiting. We'll move you up next. So we'll be jumping into old business to let the town organization sign Colt give a discussion of how far he is along with it and what we're looking at.
Got it.
Yeah, we got it.
Thank you for your diligence.
So always making sure if the answers that I gave to those questions are adequate enough for you guys, and if you guys have any more questions.
One question I had in regards to the drawing is the measurement of the 56 inches from the base to the first cross from ground up, or from, is there going to also be, is there wood, how far down in concrete are you setting it, and is that part of that measurement?
We didn't do that measurement.
Okay. So that tells me it's from ground up.
Yes.
Do you know how far you are sinking it into the ground?
Depending on which ground, I don't think we got an answer back for, are we using the new site or the old site? I know you weren't there that morning that we talked to Mr. Landry about that, so I just want to make sure we're using the new site.
Right, if Mr. Landry said it was okay,
Okay.
you most definitely can.
So we plan on using 16-foot 6x6s, so we're looking at 3 to 4 feet concreted down below the ground.
Okay.
Which follows standard practice, which is
standard
below the frost line.
Yeah. And have you been in touch with, or has Mr. Landry been in touch with Miss Utility, and are you going to run into problems with any utility running?
He won't be in touch with Miss Utility. That's going to be our young scout's job, to get a hold of Miss Utility, have everything marked before we ever get out there and start digging.
Okay. That was all I had. Anybody, John?
No. So, what is the desire for staining or painting or?
Whatever you all want.
Nice.
This is going to be pressure treated lumber, and it's going to be kind of a dark olive.
Yep.
Yeah, I think a lot of these are kind of a brownish color. Anyway, so yeah, I'd like it to.
Yeah, because it's probably still from the days when creosote was allowed.
Exactly. That's probably what it is. Seriously.
We're all old enough to know what that is.
I don't know what, I have not been happy with some of like the Home Depot almost stain and colors in one.
Right.
It's just it really is. I'm very unhappy with it. But I know that it's 20 years ago now, but Woolman's has a natural wood stain. Actually, it's natural wood color. It's actually not natural wood. It's the strangest thing. They call it natural, but it turns the wood a nice, beautiful red.
And I'm sorry, the company's name was what?
Woolman's.
Woolman's?
Is that going to work on a pressure treated?
Oh yeah, it's for pressure treated.
Oh, okay, sorry.
That's what it's for. It's for pressure treated decks. It's called natural, which again is beyond me because it's got a definite color to it, but it's a beautiful red.
It's got a red.
Reddish brown
Okay.
is what it ends up with.
Okay.
You can investigate that, but yeah, I think it should be stained, as a deck would stain.
Sure.
At some point, and I think that would be a good color. Again, since I've personally not been happy with the stain colors all in one. If you all have any thoughts.
I will leave that to you.
Okay. So yeah, I think it should be definitely, once you finish it, it should be stained or treated
Well, it definitely will be weather treated. As far as the staining goes, the last time, and it's been a while since I've stained the deck, but I let mine weather out for a little while first to let the stain come out of it. So I don't think we would want me. I don't think we would want to put the sign up and then say, okay, Scouts, get busy, slapping the stain on that. You may want to wait on that. I don't know.
It's usually 6 to 8 months for
Yeah,
for it to,
the salt,
which is fine.
Okay.
Which you had also stated that, I know you can't obligate that you perform ongoing maintenance, but any service projects that do come up,
Yep. However, that would be a great thing since the town of Haymarket affords us the ability to sell hot dogs out there at Haymarket Day every year. I think the Scoutmaster would have no problem coming out supporting the staining and upkeep of, and I will discuss that with him. I did have one question about timing. Of course, we've got sports going on, we've got school going on, we've got Scouts going on right now. He still has some more paperwork that he's got to run through the council, National Area Council, and the district. He's got some additional plans, some more detailed plans that he has to turn in as well. So what we were kind of looking at was, as soon as school was out, beginning the preparatory work on this, and maybe mid to late July, having it up. If that meets your all's timeline, if that's sufficient with you guys.
yeah, that's fine. I mean,
Since we don't have a time.
we don't.
Great.
Now, I didn't look at any description here, but the roof, is the roof just going to be planks packed together tightly? Okay.
Unless you all would like to do some roofing, this is your all sign. We will work to, he's got his fundraising approved as of last Tuesday by the district, so we can go out and start asking for money for people. So we plan on, the rules of this are whatever money that we get, if we don't spend it all, it has to be turned over to the beneficiary, which is you all anyway. The trooper, anybody is not allowed to keep any of this money, so we will spend the money until it's gone. If you want roofing on there, we put roofing. I know the one here doesn't have roofing on it right now, I believe. And it does show it gets weather pretty fast also, so we can make a plan to put some shingles up on top of the roof if you want.
Just a question for you guys.
Yeah, it should have some sort
Some
of
character.
roofing.
Okay.
I don't know, as a Boy Scout, maybe you can hit up some of the roofing supply companies.
for the
I
extra.
prefer
this is
something
very
natural though, as
small.
opposed to like an
Yeah, it's not going to be like we need a whole pallet
Yeah.
full of roofing.
Yeah, I know. So it's, wait, what is this? 18 inches by, what's 18 inches tall?
18
so-
high, yeah.
and plus with the
Somewhere in the neighborhood of,
shake, you can
you know,
stain it.
it's not very big.
Painting it into it.
About 2 feet,
Yeah,
perhaps, on
maybe
either
24 on
side.
each side, yeah.
I would recommend that you call your local, or our local, whatever, roofing supply companies, and tell them what you're doing, and see what they can help you out with.
Donate. There's a lot of buildings
Exactly.
that have excess that's from.
Exactly. They might have extra stuff. Because what I would love to see is some standing seam metal roofing, or some type of metal roofing, because you put
Kind of like on
that
all
up.
of our buildings
Yeah.
that we have in
Yeah,
town.
that would be nice.
I mean,
but
that
that's
would be-
usually an engineered
Normally,
product,
that's
you know.
an expensive task, and it's
Yeah.
also something that needs to,
And
that
it's
people
a
have
skill.
to.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's not something, almost anybody can put up a shingle and get it
That is true.
close.
Oh, that is totally true.
Put up a tin roof.
I
not so
totally hear
much.
you.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
But a tin roof obviously would be a nice
And
permanent,
it's-
pseudo-permanent.
That's right.
And within the rules of the project, what he's allowed to do and what he's not allowed to do, we can't go out and pay somebody to say, pick this up for us, build this for us. We have to do that ourselves.
Understood.
So,
That's right.
Sure. So yeah, but it should have some type of shingles on
and
it.
something to go nicely with the reddish brown tone natural wood.
There you go.
Or you can do some type of natural shingle like, I would say cedar, but it doesn't need to be cedar, but something that, when you stain it, you just stain the whole
Well,
thing.
that actually, again, that if you could find someone who is willing to donate or sell at cost a pallet of shingle shakes, they can. You can be taught. You can go on the internet and look at how they go. 'Cause they're normally not put on a solid base. They're normally put on you put slats up.
Yep.
And then, but anybody could do it actually.
So the way that the project typically is going to be put together is going to be put together probably at our house. A bunch of scouts will bring out there, almost make a model out of this thing, bring it out the day of, Sometime in July, have a crew of guys out there after this utility, dig the hole, cement, posts in, put everything together and just kind of raise it at one time, make sure it's braced in there. So the roof will be built before, we even get out here.
I would contact Miss Utility sooner than later, just in case there is something that's there, and a relocation would be
Good point.
done.
No.
Well, I think the relocation would be in the signs relocation, right?
Correct.
Next present location, yeah.
But yes,
Yes.
we're not relocating utilities.
Exactly.
And, as far as Mr. Landry's property or town's property, I'm not sure is it his or your own, or how's that working out?
Wow, that's a hard question to
Because
answer.
if it's his, then if it's his, I'm assuming he'll dictate the actual angle of the sign and the
Correct.
exact placement of it versus
Correct.
you all, even though we're doing the work for you guys.
Correct.
Okay.
It is his
You have Sean's number, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Get a hold of him. He is loving to work with you guys.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so
No, he's good.
excited about it. And he can tell you, he may even already have a survey done in regards to the utilities and where they are.
Oh, okay. I noticed there has been some grading going on that
Yep.
property. I've noticed that, and it is. They're out there playing baseball right now on that little field. So I'm wondering if the sign's going to play into the whatever ball field's going on there too. So kind of keep that out different.
Yeah, just keep in touch with Sean in regards to that, and he may already have a knowledge of where all those utilities are, how deep they are is the biggest thing, because, okay, yeah, there may be power lines in there,
All right.
but they may be far enough down to where it's not going to matter.
Okay.
But,
Quite frankly, I just pick up the phone and call this utility. It's an ice exercise for them, and
Absolutely, yeah. Removal
they
of the sign.
basically all you do is make a call, and they take it from there.
This
So,
is
We got a
what
trash
he's supposed to
issue.
work those processes. Yep.
probably so. Then we were discussing the removal of the old sign will be on us. That
Okay.
wasn't part of anything discussed.
I'm sure his buddies would not mind at all tearing something down. That's scalp load.
Right.
If you want them to break it down, I'll have guys out there with gloves and they can tote it wherever you all want it maybe moved to a certain place. Just give us some instructions and there'll be a whole crew of guys out there that will love to tear something down. Without getting into the electrical wires, hopefully, up there. But
I think I
yeah.
Is there a dumpster behind the,
This one out.
You guys want the
It's put it
signs,
in there.
The little smaller
Yeah, the signs will be pulled off and probably
pulled off, I'll give to
transferred.
Jen or Denise in regards to once yours are then done, to be put on if they are still a valid organization within the town. The wood itself, we have dumpsters back here. And have at it.
All right.
you know. Take a sledgehammer to it.
We can do that. The boys will love that.
Funnest part, the destruction.
Keeping in mind any footers or concrete footers that are already in place, and taking that down. No, you don't have to remove the concrete from the ground, but there will have to be a
Right.
flat, safe cut made at the base.
But if you can't pull out the concrete,
Sure.
great.
If it's
We'll make it a competition with the boys and let them have at it.
leaving that big of a
Chain
hole
around
though,
it and
I'm
take
just saying,
off
with,
with the
in
truck.
regards to pulling the concrete out, it's going to leave
Oh,
a big
that's true.
hole,
That's right, yeah.
which will then be a liability if somebody comes walking along and their dog falls in it.
Filled in, yeah.
And so,
Okay.
keeping that in mind, if you leave a hole, fill it. If you don't, make sure that the cut at the base of it's not going to cut somebody either.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right, so we will assume we'll come to the next ARB to give you any progress reports. It won't be built then, but we come up with those colors and those kind of things. We'll
Right.
report in with you guys.
Yeah, a nice little CAD drawing. And
scale model?
That's right.
Scale model, that's right.
Okay.
We'll see you at the
All right.
next meeting.
Thank you all.
Thank you for
Bye-bye.
coming in.
Thanks for coming in.
And go ahead and put them on the agenda for the next one. Oh, you nice to have that. Yes.
Okay, now we'll be moving back up to agenda item 5, going into town council and planning commission updates. We'll start with town council. Any updates?
The update I have for you is the shrinking of the historic district did not pass and it will be remaining the same. And other than that,
I guess that
nothing
makes
as it pertains to the ARB.
I guess that makes 4 of us happy here.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay.
As it pertains to the ARB, that is the only thing.
That's what I'm trying to think. I
That's
don't
the
know
only
that-
thing I can discuss.
Okay, and I guess
Any questions?
questions for Kat? I have one. I know there was discussion earlier that the Blue House, the owner wanted to tear it down, and we were wondering if we were going to approve that so that when construction of the road went into play, which is starting to get constructed now. Right now, they're on the opposite side. There wouldn't be any worry about whether we need to tear down their porch and leave it standing because it's so close to the road. Has anything in council been discussed about that?
No. And the Blue House, Stephanie's house?
It's between, you got two brick houses, and then you got the,
Yeah, there are a couple
antique
windows
deal.
broken out up front, I think is the one that you're talking about.
The one that was going to be moved under Kennedy's plan over here, it was a very small house. Is this the one you're talking
No,
about?
this one's right off of 55. It's
Yeah.
between the jewelry and antique shop.
The one that sits
Yeah.
on the corner. It's the
Yeah, right,
next
right
house.
next to right next to that's the Blue House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the one that's been boarded up.
Yeah, I know there was mention that they wanted to tear it down, and we were saying, well, it'd be great if they want to, because then we won't have to worry about, tearing off the, because I think they need to tear off the porch, because it's going to interfere with the sidewalk and all that stuff, the construction.
But how does that house that sits on the corner, because that sits closer to the road, doesn't it?
I
And
don't
that
think,
blue
I don't
house?
think it does.
With the jewelry store?
So,
But to answer your
Yeah.
question, no, it has not been brought up.
okay, because I know it was brought up in ARB a while back on mentioning something about are we going to see a destruction permit for that house or not? Because it may be good to push that through as quick as possible for this construction. So I didn't know what was up.
I have not.
Yeah,
Okay.
if the porch is going to be torn off, that could get into a number of issues if the owner's not going to do it.
Well,
I don't know.
that's what's
But
just
yeah,
coming to mind. So I just thought I'd bring that up since I haven't heard anything. And I know they're starting the construction.
Yeah.
Maybe something you can do a little bit of research for us, Denise, on as well. But because I think that owner's flip-flopped a few times on wanting to lay it down
Yes,
and then
that's
not wanting to lay it down.
what I know is that it's gone in several different directions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're saying
And I think the only reason they postponed it is because when they realized the cost to lay it down, they said, I think I'm going to reassess this.
you're saying so if it's this construction might take its porch.
Well, it would be easier for the construction to get done because I think the construction really has to tear off the porch to get the sidewalk completed.
Interesting. But that's the sidewalk's not going to interfere with the jewelry store next to it, antique shop.
I don't think so. I don't know. Like I said, I'm going off a hearsay that was a while back, and I am legitimate to be an AARP participant now. So I'm just giving you some.
So basically, just asking her to look into
Yeah.
it.
So I just want to make sure that I'm not losing my mind, and to see
You
if
are,
we
and
need
it's okay.
if we need to act on that.
That's acceptable.
Okay. Any more questions for Kat? Okay, we'll move on to
Yeah, I don't believe that we have anything from the planning commission that is germane.
any concerns you want to raise about the historic overlay, or since it's done, it's done. So no need to deal with it, right? Okay. Okay, any questions? Okay, we're done then. Let's move on to new business. Anybody have any new business? I thought I had something, but I don't think I did. Okay. Next agenda item, we'll go back to old business. and that's the ARB task list. I guess I'll look at it real quickly, even though I put it together, because I think I still have showing on there dealing with commercial fencing. Like I said, when we start to readdress the guidelines, which we've been kind of holding off on, we will hit it, and that's just in there as a placeholder to remind us not to forget. And the welcome signs. Like I said, most of the burden's on me, and I've been really juggling a lot of flag football and end-of-year choral concerts and band concerts at the schools. I really haven't done much the past 4 months, so it's still on my agenda, and it's my lameness that's preventing this from continuing forward.
On your commercial fencing, last we knew it was on hold until the historic district overlay is determined. It is now determined.
It is now determined. So something might be popping up in the next meeting or two to start to work on the guidelines. And because I think there were other things besides the overlay that Marchant wanted us to reword.
Giving you my now, the next meeting would be my last.
We'll miss you.
Can we twist your heart?
Well,
You can Skype me in from Florida.
Have you sold
That's
your
right.
house yet?
It's not even on the market yet.
Well, then you can't leave.
that's
you
right.
can't, you can't resign until it's sold.
What, you got about 2 weeks?
Yeah,
At
it
least
goes on
that's
the
when you
market
had planned.
June 1.
Yeah. And yours follows up a month later, right?
Well, it depends because there's a glitch with me now. I'm having back surgery on June 3rd. So it's probably going to push it back 6 weeks.
Okay.
Prayers and hopes too.
I need them.
You got
And you know this kind of comes at a bad time because we got to recruit new people and we got the council swapping over, and so it's kind of like...
whole clean slate with council, except for Steve will remain, I believe he will remain on as police liaison, but everybody else is going to be...
Yeah, so it'll be difficult to find somebody in that
I
time
don't know if
period and
Ralph's
get
going to
them
stay on
approved.
PC or not.
The PC is a whole different beast than ARB.
Right, and
We
that,
essentially, the ARB is essentially served at the pleasure of the council.
right, I just
PC is
don't know if
not
you were
the
going
case.
to
Yeah,
stay
I'm gonna be here.
on that and still
Yeah.
be the liaison.
I think I got
so-
like another 3 years or something.
Right.
We
So that's
got the
not
same
gonna get
thing.
rid
We
of
still
you that
need the
easy,
council
huh?
to approve us and stuff, so we still have the same...
For the ARB,
Yeah.
but not for the PC.
Oh, really?
No, the PC is controlled by state code. Yeah, ARB is not. ARB, they can do whatever, the council can do whatever they want to with the ARB.
Yeah.
And so they'll be assigning one of the newbies as your liaison.
Probably Pam.
Probably.
Yeah, since she
I
has
wouldn't be surprised.
past history, she'll probably come in.
Yeah.
Damn, that means she can critique me on chair. Start to
She may
whip-
come in
start
as
to
the
whip
chair
on
and-
these welcome signs.
She'll come in as,
She will be chair.
she'll come in as wanting to be chair and tell you, well, to the left, to the left.
She can't since she's on council.
Yeah, she can't be chair.
She cannot be chair
No.
if she's on council.
She can be
She
liaison.
can be the liaison to the council, but not chair. So you're fine.
Well,
You,
Well, I'm still trying to figure out, I've been,
what?
I think I've been here for about 3 years, so I think my term's about up. I got to find out when I need to either say I'll continue on or whatever.
No, you were new when I was new, so it's only been 2 years.
2 years?
it just seems like 3.
Just
You still have another year to go.
You're trying to get off, but we're not going to let you.
yeah. Okay, well, let's continue on here. We're dragging it out. That's all I have for the ARB task list. Any questions? Okay. Then
Motion
we'll
to adjourn?
move on to
Second.
adjournment. I got a motion and a second. All in
Aye.
favor, say aye. Aye. We adjourn at, let's say, 7:45.
I have a question.
Yes.
We're adjourned.
You want the mics
No.
off for this
I
one?
want